It was torrential rain last night, which is fantastic because it means I don't have to water the garden today. I've got a lot to do today, so I'll just show you how much rain actually fell down yesterday. I'll just show you there now. We had like about an inch of rain. That's a lot of water in there. The potatoes we planted in a previous episode are looking strong. I know I was a little bit unsure how they would turn out, given that the potatoes were growing potatoes and were a little bit going over in terms of like them sprouting, but they look super strong. So I need to get some compost and heal them up. And my patty pan transplanted quite well, and it's just started to flower. Now that could be down to stress, I don't actually know, but I'm happy. It looks happy. He's standing upright. Leaves are lovely and green. So yeah, happy with that. The transplant obviously worked, which is super, super good news. And the tomatoes are looking lovely. They are flowering away beautifully. Beautiful trusses of flowers on there. There's actually one around the corner I want to show you, if I can find it. That has tomatoes on it. How awesome is that? I mean, like, that's going to be like the longest truss of cherry tomatoes ever. That's still flowering. But we will have tomatoes. I'm super happy. How gorgeous are they, little ones? Love it. They look so lovely. Super happy with that. The dog's vomit's almost gone as well. That crow's really not happy with me. So the dog's vomit has almost gone as well. Just in there. So it's gone brown now. But the only thing I would say is everyone said leave it alone, but where it kind of has left this crust, all the dust has gone on to some of the neighbouring leaves. So like some of the leaves started to look a bit funny, and obviously you're not supposed to ingest that. So yeah, I don't know whether I would leave it next time. I think maybe I would dig it up, just because obviously I have edible plants underneath, like very close by, especially being salad leaves and things, like you're not cooking them or anything. So I didn't end up eating any of the leaves off that plant that was right next to it, because it kind of like puffed up onto the leaf. So yeah, oh look, these ones are going as well. Oh yeah, how lovely are they? Oh, they're just such a joy to grow, aren't they? So yeah, enough about the tomatoes. So the broad bean, I think I'm going to cut it down today. We've had lots and lots and lots of broad bean at the minute, and I'm a bit broad beaned out. So I actually prefer them when they're smaller, you know, like they're probably half the size of that. When they're probably about this tall is when they're actually where I like them the best. So these will still be super, super nice. They'll only be small. They're not swelled up to their full size, but I prefer them when they're smaller. They taste better. Oh look, there's a good example. When they're like this size, you don't have to pod them. You can just pop them into a frying pan or steam them for literally a minute or two, and they taste lovely. And obviously you don't have to spend any time podding them. So that's my perfect size. And then obviously when the beans actually start forming, I prefer them when they're smaller as well. So yeah, I'm actually going to cut that down today, harvest everything that's on it, and they should keep in the fridge for a couple of days, and I'll cook some up and pop them onto salads and things like that. But look, it's like a monster of a plant now. So I need to be able to get some carrots in, and it's actually starting to look a bit tired. Like this one, obviously I think in the storm last night, has fallen over. He's not looking too happy. We had a massive storm actually yesterday. I woke up to like the rain beating off the house. We had like an inch of rainfall, which I won't complain about. I'm super, super happy. But yeah, he's been in the ground for a long time. It's time for him to come out. And then I've got some awesome tomatoes that I did a late sowing in May. So I'm going to need to make some space in the skinny bed at the back. The carrots have started to flower a little bit, so I need to pull those out. So you can see there, it's just started to flower. So you might remember these were one of the very first things we sewed together in my very first YouTube video. So I imagine they're going to be small. like finger carrots. So yeah, I did like 3 rows of 15 I think back then. So I'm going to pull them out. Obviously they've started to flower, so they need to come out. I'd say the one that's really after flowering is probably no good to eat. But yeah, I'll then be able to have loads of space then to pop in the tomatoes. So these are the tomatoes. I'll get back to these in a minute. We're going to take these out first. So I'm hoping that they'll be at least big enough to eat. Do you know the smell of fresh carrots is amazing? Like, I swear it's nothing like what you buy in the shop. I know I say that a lot, but oh, they smell amazing. Aren't they perfect? I mean, they're only diddy, but like, it's a diddy garden, so I'm gonna just harvest all these, I suppose. I wonder, will I keep the one that's flowered in? Will I just leave it to flower? I would like to save the seed, but I'm not sure. Are they an F1 variety or not? That looks a bit like a Chardonnay. It's not a Chardonnay, but it's bigger than the other one. Oh, they're so cute. Oh. I mean, that's Diddy. Maybe that's a carrot fail. They're really easy to pull out though. Maybe if I sewn them a little bit wider, but I thought I gave them quite a lot of space anyway. About 1 centimetre between them. Look at that. So happy with those. Little finger carrots, aren't they lovely? And they're super easy to pull out. And I was actually a little bit worried because when I actually sowed these back in March, it was only after they'd been in the ground and they had actually just sprouted up that I remembered that I didn't actually turn over any of this soil. And obviously with carrots, they can grow wonky if you don't turn over the soil or have it kind of really smooth with no lumps and rocks in it. So I wasn't too sure. It was only like after the fact that I realised. So they're super cool. They grew super straight, super small, but you know, it's the tiny garden. So just trying not to damage my marigold. This marigold's absolutely huge. Like the stem on it, grew these from seed. The stem on it's absolutely massive. So, and the smell off of it's unbelievable. It smells amazing. Didn't realise they smelt so nice. I'm probably biased though because I grew it myself. Lovely, beautiful finger carrots for salads. Cannot wait. Or a little side to go with roast dinner tomorrow. I'm so chuffed with these. They look so cool. And a couple more. That's it. Okay, that was the epic carrot fail. That one didn't grow. That's okay. Oh, there's 2 more here. So I've made a load of space now on that bed, so I'm really happy about that. And I think I'm just going to pull these ones out. Oh, interesting. Maybe that's not a carrot. Maybe that's a weed. Is that a weed? Guys, it's not a carrot, it's a weed. That's not a carrot, it's a weed. Just still learning. Good job I did pick it because it has flowered and that seed would have gone absolutely everywhere. Not here, thank you very much. Okay. It's probably the biggest weed I think I've ever pulled from this garden. Throw you over there. So, there we have it. Miniature carrot harvest. Aren't they great? And then, alright, so I've made it. I need to get a shovel. I'm going to be back. I'm going to get a shovel. I'm back. I've got my shovel and my trusty chicken manure, which is going to go into the bottom of these. Now, how many am I going to plant? I'm not sure yet. So these were sown first week of May. There's 2 varieties in here. One is a salad tomato and one is a sort of ribbed beefsteak type tomato, and they're supposed to grow super fast. They're supposed to be like an early cropping variety. So garden experiment, hopefully I'll get loads of lovely red fruit from these. So the taller ones at the back are called later, so I definitely want to plant those out, and that's the salad tomato, and that one's after flying up actually. You see there, it's a lot taller than the others. So I'm definitely going to put that one in, and it's actually started to flower, so that's obviously one of two things. Either it's a really, really fast variety, or it's a little bit stressed, but I can't really see any roots for this one through the bottom, so I don't think that it's that stressed, like there's still plenty of space for it to move. And the other variety is called Costaluto. The name's actually a bit longer than that, but I couldn't fit it onto the label, so it's called Costaluto. So that's that one. Healthy looking plant. I'll do exactly the same as I did in the tomato time video. I'm going to take off all the lower leaves, pop that in. So that's one there, and then I will pop in one of these. I think it's between this one and this one. I think this one's the strongest, and there's a little baby one in there. Take that out, and then that's the beefsteak one that I'll put in. So this marigold is out of control here, but great companion plant for tomatoes, so it's actually a really good spot for them. Look, another little baby carrot, which not really even a baby carrot. Right, I should try and pin him up there. I'll get some thread for that in a minute. And then I don't know if I have homes for these yet, so I might have to give those away, which I'm sad about. I'd love to plant all those. I'm actually sad to leave it go. He looks so sad over there. But he had to go. I've had too many broad beans and I need the space. But this is a question actually I wanted to ask you guys, because that was the first year I had grown broad beans. And I'm just wondering what I do with these. I thought broad beans were a nitrogen fixer. So I had planned originally to leave those in because I thought it would be beneficial to the soil underneath. I'm not too sure if I'm going to be able to plant any carrots in here now, because obviously they're going to be in the way. So if anybody knows whether I should leave it in or not, please do let me know, because I'm not too sure, and I did really struggle. Like, they're like proper hard stems, you know, so it's not going to be good enough to grow root vegetables there, I don't think, which is a shame. So I might have to redo my plan. Look how many broad beans I got. Unbelievable. I wonder, will I open one and show you what's inside? I'll go for this one. That's a funny shaped one. there you have it. Broad beans. So this variety, if anyone's interested, is called Bunny Yard's Exhibition, and it's from unwind seeds. So yeah, sown in October, and that's the result. Look awesome, don't they? So obviously I'll have a variety of sizes. Obviously some are smaller than others. They look amazing. Really pleased with those. It's like a perfect little pod there, that one. Picked the right one to open, didn't I? So yeah, there you have it. So I'm going to, yeah, like that. I'm going to leave in the roots of the broad beans, and I'm actually going to transplant in some of my French beans into here. I think they'll be okay growing in and around this type of thing. It's warm. It's not sunny, but it's so warm. So I've just popped in the onions. I took all the onions out, all the spring onions, and I've moved them into like various spots in the garden. And I've made perfect room for my pepper plants to go in. So I'm going to throw those in now. I also spread out some of my petunias. I felt like it wasn't letting the cucumber in the corner there grow, so I've just spread out some of the petunias, and then hopefully there'll be like a lovely border of flowers. But sadly, like every time I go into this main bed from that side, I keep sitting on them so all the flower heads keep falling off. So there might not be any flowers in a month's time. So this is what the bed sort of looks like now. So in the very, very corner, obviously we have a salvia, we have some French beans. I popped some onions in that corner, and I have popped over my peppers in the middle, and obviously the brassicas we did the other week, and then I've put like 3 or 4 small baby lettuce plants in between the brassicas just to see how they do, and then scattered in 2 sets of spring onions as well because I didn't have any other space for them. And then my beautiful border of flowers that I split out earlier, so hopefully that will come into like full bloom. I popped a few onions at the back. If the onions don't take off, I'm not too worried. I'm just doing it mainly just to keep the pests away. I feel like spring onions are just so good at deterring pests. And then over to the strawberries.
But it's okay. I don't have the
You've got strawberries.